evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Autumn on Stage, presented by Liberty High School Performing Arts. Be sure to follow us on social media and make plans to attend Frozen Junior next weekend, December 8th through the 10th. Tickets are on sale now at showticksforyou.com. At this time, I would like to remind you to please silence all electronic devices. Flash photography and video recording is strictly prohibited. Our performance is being videotaped by Mrs. Cruz. If you need to exit the auditorium at any time, please do quietly in between scenes out of respect for our performers. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Imagine a canvas!
A shape.
A few lines, a dab of color.
Imagine a painting.
With form.
Rhythm. Harmony.
Motif.
With a purpose.
Picture a Picasso.
A Rembrandt. Renoir. Van Gogh. Cassatt. Monet. Rubens. Chagall.
A Klimt.
Imagine a lady with a mysterious smile. The creation of Adam. The birth of a Venus. A night full of stars. A field of sunflowers. Imagine a man locked in an eternal screen. Imagine art. Picture art. Picture life. Picture joy.
Picture man's triumph over boredom and uncertainty.
Picture man's quest for enlightenment. Picture a good way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Picture art.
Art.
Art is true. Vincent Van Gogh.
Art is not the truth, but a lie that makes us see the truth. Pablo Picasso.
I found I could say things with colors and shapes I couldn't say any other way. Things I had no words for. Georgia O'Keeffe.
Art is not what you see, but art is what you make others see. Edgar Degas.
Art is either plagiarism or revolution. Paul Gauguin.
Every artist, regardless of talent, has one great masterpiece. One work which in their mind stands far above the rest. Whether the rest of the world agrees does not change a thing. To the artist, it remains a masterpiece. Renee Marguerite.
This is a story of its artist and her struggle to find that masterpiece.
Her journey to discover that for which we are all looking. Her
Masterpiece. Imagine an artist.
She could be your neighbor.
Your friend, the girl on my behind you at the grocery store.
The girl who hit you in the face with a volleyball in gym class.
She's 6 years old here, so you might not recognize her.
That's her, coloring with her crayons. Crayola crayons. The big fat ones.
Purple.
Red, blue.
Yellow.
That's her. Dragging me to cars and anorexic animals.
Drawing mommy and daddy and the puppy too.
And always her best friend, Molly.
Molly and the fire engine.
Molly and the mailman.
Molly and a can of peaches. Molly and a monkey wearing roller skates. Because that way the bear can catch him. Duh! Molly and a monkey wearing roller skates. Because that way the bears can catch him. Duh.
Teacher! She's coloring outside the lines.
She always colors outside the lines.
Staying inside the lines is boring. Sometimes horses run outside of their corrals. Sometimes cars drive on the grass. Sometimes my soup goes outside the bowl. So why do I have to stay inside of the lines?
Because staying in the lines gets you a gold star.
Oh,
She drew on everything she saw. When she ran out of paper, she switched to tables, walls, Daddy's briefcase, Daddy. Then one day, Mommy and Daddy caught the artist writing on the walls. The artist was afraid of what Mommy and Daddy would say. For one thing, the form was all wrong. She didn't capture the highlights and shadows quite right.
But instead of scolding her, they framed her art and showed it to all the neighbors.
And they promised to take her to the zoo.
Can I bring Molly?
Of course she could. Molly was her best friend. A crayon drawing come to life one bored Tuesday morning.
Just because the artist was the only one who could see Molly, it didn't make her any less real.
Together, their favorite thing in the world was going to the zoo.
First, she drew the tiger. Oh, Molly, look! Flamingos! Then they saw the wolves. Come to think of it, nobody really sees the wolves, do they? But the artist drew them anyway. A giraffe! And when they got home, the artist and Molly colored pictures of every animal they saw. Every fish, every bird, and every ant. Time passed, as it does. Molly said goodbye. The artist grew up and she soon traded in her crayons for pencils, paints, and colored chalks.
She experimented with clay. She experimented with sculpture.
She tried her hand at things more avant-garde and surreal.
There's a penguin in my eye.
Some ideas worked better than others. But it was in painting that the artist found her true calling. She loved the intensity of the colors.
The ease of the brushstroke.
The smell of a wet canvas.
The ability to capture thoughts in no other medium could.
She wanted to spend the rest of her life painting.
Time passed, as it does, and the artist painted all through high school and all through college. When finally the day came, the big day, graduation day.
The headmaster clapped her on the shoulders, handed her a paintbrush and a blank white canvas, saying,
It's time. Go out and paint. The world is waiting for your masterpiece.
My masterpiece. I like the sound of that.
So what are you waiting for? Get to it.
Yeah! I'll get to it. Oh, I'll paint. Oh, what if I... But what do I paint? Oh, sure. Now they shut up.
Say, that's pretty good. How much you want for it?
How much? Oh, no, this isn't for sale. It's just a rough draft. Thought maybe it could be my masterpiece, but this one's not it.
Still pretty good. You should get into business. Business? Yes, business. My cousin. She runs a business 2 towns over. She's looking for painters like yourself. With talent like yours, you could go straight to the top.
The top? Not a bad place to go. Perhaps. she could create her masterpiece in the business world. So she collected her things and went to see the boss.
Welcome! Oh, I've heard great things about you, so dumb me down. We run a straight 440 shift here with about 15 every 3 hours. You'll be in Sector 14D, and your locker is on the green concourse. My office is Sector W17, but if you get lost, go see Marjorie in 5060, who'll give you the proper forms to fill out. Plant rhymes until the whistle blows. No, painting outside the lines. Here's some forms to fill out in triplicate. Laverne Franken, 46 hours, which before your shift starts. About knowledge, good luck!
How was your weekend, Shirley?
Just great. We took the kids to the lake.
Excuse me, but...
So, Phyllis, did you catch the game yesterday?
Sure did. That Hoynerike is awesome.
Pardon me, am I doing this right, or...
Hey, Scooter, were your hours off last week?
I don't know, Skip. Better ask Margie. So it's jump, then move. Look out, new kid!
The doctor said I needed to have surgery on my knee.
My sister had that done once. I tell ya, I've never seen such a gangrenous patella.
But why are we...
Man, the boss has been riding me to get my fourth quarter numbers up.
Oh man, that's tough. So then, someone took my donut from the break room.
Break time!
So, what exactly are we paying?
Dollar bills.
And do we get to pay anything else?
No, ma'am. Just $1 bills.
What? All day?
Of course. Why would you want to paint anything else? Money's what makes this world go round.
Ain't it great? Back to work!
How was your weekend, Shirley?
Just great. We took the kids to the lake.
So, Phyllis, did you catch the game yesterday?
Sure did. That Hoynerike is awesome.
Hey, Scooter, were your hours off last week?
I don't know, Skip. Better ask Margie.
Dejected, the artist wandered the streets. Clearly, she could not create her masterpiece under those conditions.
There was no variety, no meaning, no art. Was she not, after all, an artist? This simply would not do. She wandered for days, searching for anything that could be the subject of her masterpiece, when one day she came across an old woman praying.
May I join you? You look troubled. I am. I'm afraid I won't be able to find my masterpiece.
Oh, you're young. Give it time. But if you're looking for inspiration, there's always...
She pointed at the old gray church in the town square.
The old woman was right. Perhaps her inspiration just needed to be a bit more divine. She thanked her fellow pilgrim and headed toward the church. At the door, she was greeted by 2 men dressed in black. Their calm and welcoming demeanor put her instantly at ease.
Come in.
Please.
Sit where you like.
They left the artist alone with her thoughts. Religious icons filled the cathedral, filling her senses and instilling a peace inside her.
This could give me the tranquility I need to find my masterpiece.
She thought of artists like Michelangelo and Verdi and all the work they did for the church. She could do the same. Immediately, she grabbed her paintbrush and started painting.
Pardon me, miss, but what exactly are you doing?
Sorry, just capturing my thoughts.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm terribly sorry, but we cannot allow this here.
I'm sorry? yes, that kind of artistic endeavor is forbidden here. Book of Rules?
Yes.
We study the Book of Rules here. The Book of Rules? Yes. That kind of artistic endeavor is to detract from our true purpose here. Which is?
To serve the Book of Rules?
Among other things.
Yes, among other things.
But, if you like, you can help make stained glass windows.
You see, they're functional. They serve a purpose.
The artist thought about this for a moment. When all she had in mind, she could still create her masterpiece with colored glass. Images filled her head with different color combinations she tried. She could do this. She could do this well. Well, it wasn't perfect. It was good enough. And sometimes good enough is good enough.
Gentlemen,
She responded.
show me the way.
They led her to a workshop where other workers were cutting glass. Heat from the ovens was intense, but her newfound sense of purpose excited her and kept her from noticing anything else.
Now remember, what you are doing here, you are not doing for your own personal glory.
You are doing it for the church. I can agree to that.
You may not work on Sundays.
Or after sundown. Okay.
Only use the colors which we provide for you.
Your first window must be complete within 40 days.
Only use the shapes which we provide for you.
When on break, you may only read the Book of Rules.
Only use the patterns which we provide for you.
And no fraternizing with other workers.
Only use the tools which we provide for you.
You may not eat or drink in the workshop.
Above all else, the Book of Rules is always correct.
The artist slipped out of the church, unnoticed, and kept walking until she was out of town. This couldn't be it, she thought. A masterpiece can't be that structured, that laid out, or that prone to compromise.
Religion is faith, and faith lives in people, not buildings or rules. Good art doesn't follow the rules. Great artists become great by not following the rules. She couldn't settle. Suddenly her good enough wasn't so good anymore. But was she good enough to create a masterpiece? She had already tried twice.
And failed twice, and was now facing a long, dark road ahead of her. Taking a deep breath and sighing a deep sigh, she trudged on.
Watch everything else along the way. Take these ducks, for instance. If I had been watching where I was going, I would not have noticed that that duck is 3 times fatter than the rest of the other ducks. Or I would not have noticed that guy duck right there has it really bad for that girl duck right there.
He gave a deeply over-important bow and introduced himself as a daydreamer.
You was a dreamer too.
And an artist.
Same thing.
The artist couldn't help but like him. She came back the next day and watched us he played jump rope with some kids in the park. The day after that, she watched us he did nothing but stare at clouds all afternoon.
It was after the 3rd day that he asked to walk her home.
Time passed, as it does. Autumn came and went, and she soon saw a lot more of the daydreamer. When he wasn't looking, she painted pictures of him.
Playing with a stray dog, swimming in the fountain,
Reading a newspaper on a park bench.
Falling asleep in her lap on the picnic blanket.
There was something childlike about his curiosity about everyone and everything that passed his eye. His energy was endless and infectious.
It didn't take long for her to fall in love with him. real love, not the mad, infatuous crush of a schoolgirl, but honest love.
The kind of love that inspired artists like Renoir and Cassatt.
The kind that inspired Rubens to paint his angels. The kind of love that drove Van Gogh mad enough to cut off his own ear. And he returned her love every chance he got. He picked dandelions to place in her hair.
He read her plays using different voices for each of the characters.
He cooked soup for her when the days got colder. She loved him so, and filled canvas upon canvas with pictures of him. Colors swirled through her brush, images, shapes, lines. She felt free, uninhibited, alive.
Love felt divine. It provided her the inspiration she needed. Could this be it? The greatest cliche in the history of the world? Who would have thought?
After a year of this romantic bliss, it hit her. This was it. This was the time. Time to start the masterpiece.
The artist went into the room that had now become her studio. There she found all the paintings she had made of the daydreamer. The one of him rowing the boat and singing off key. Here was the one of him dancing in the snow. And the one of him pretending to be a penguin.
She laughed to herself and then looked again. Something was missing from the picture. And this one.
And the next one, and the next.
In all of them, something was missing.
Me!
Hundreds of pictures of the daydreamer, and yet she hadn't painted herself into a single one.
Was this how she saw herself? Unimportant?
She thought back over the past year. Everything she had done was for him, not for them.
But she loved him, didn't she? And he loved her back.
But something wasn't right. She didn't know what was supposed to happen, but she knew this wasn't it.
In a panic, the artist ran and ran and ran.
And ran and ran and ran.
She didn't know what she was running from.
Perhaps she was running from the daydreamer.
From her life!
From herself.
Perhaps she was just running because it was the only thing that made sense. She ran and ran and ran and ran and ran!
Till after days of running, she collapsed against a tree, exhausted. It was here she fell asleep.
She dreamt of nothing, of nothingness. Shapes whirled past her head. Colors, lines.
The artist saw a spot on the horizon. As it grew in size, she could make out the shape of a boat sailing on the water.
The boat sailed past as if the artist herself was nothing more than a lighthouse keeping watch over the shore.
Trying to keep a bearing of her surroundings, the artist explored farther. Let's play, said the puppy.
I don't have time to play.
Please, it'll be so much fun.
I'm sure it would, but really I don't have any time.
Are you busy?
I'm busy.
Are you too busy?
I'm too busy.
Are you too busy wasting your life looking for your masterpiece?
I'm too busy wasting my... What? How do you know about me? Oh, I know more than you think. Does this look familiar? A painter. Oh, so, if you know so much about me, what do I do next? That is up to you. But if I'm wasting my life looking for my masterpiece, what should I do? Stop looking. Stop looking. Oh, that's it. That's the answer to the ancient riddle. Just give up because it's all hopeless.
You're not listening. I didn't say give up. I said stop looking. You won't find it. Let it find you.
But what is that supposed to mean?
You're looking too hard! And you're painting for all the wrong reasons. Painting to make money. Painting to serve the church. Painting to immortalize someone. When you were 6, what was your favorite thing in the world?
That's easy. Coloring.
Exactly. What happened to that fun? Art doesn't need a purpose. It's at its best when it's done out of sheer bliss, sheer joy.
I get it. We'll sing for the joy of it. Your supper is free.
Even when you're at your darkest and most depressed, paint then too. Paint what you feel. Paint because you feel. It'll still be fun.
Suddenly, everything made sense. A great weight had been lifted off her shoulders. She was 6 again.
Images flowed out of her mind of new things to paint. Colors intermingled with lines, shapes, new harmonies floated around her head. Perspectives and angles, rhymes and textures.
Art. The art came back. Who are you? What are you?
A friend.
Molly! You did all of this?
Uh-huh. I've always been with you, watching you. You had me worried there for a moment, but you seemed to found your way.
I just needed a good guide.
So, I suppose you'll be waking up soon then?
I'm in no hurry. How about we go to the zoo? One last time. Look, Molly. It's the wolves. Bye, Molly. I'll see you when I wake up.
The artist awoke, relaxed, refreshed, and renewed.
She'd also realized she was a long, long way from home.
Oh well,
She said,
I'll take the scenic route home.
which she did. On the way home, the artist picked flowers, painted pictures for total strangers, and realized she missed the daydreamer.
But she had indeed loved him, and while she did paint hundreds of pictures of him, none were a masterpiece. But they were still pretty good.
And they were painted out of love, joy, and bliss.
About halfway home, she passed a sailmaker discarding a large scrap of canvas. Feeling inspired by the night air, she took out a brush and painted a sky on the canvas.
The zoo!
Then a splash of color, a sprinkle of light.
The factory!
Images flowed out of the artist, the factory, the zoo, the dream, the daydreamer, Molly, the church. All of it flew onto the paper, along with her sweat.
Her frustrations.
Her ambition.
Finally, she had found her masterpiece.
The artist painted for 3 days straight. On the 4th day, she stepped back to get one final look at her work.
He looks good.
Thanks.
Really good.
Thanks.
I missed you.
I'm sorry. I had to go.
I know.
I was on my way back and then...
I know. I followed you. You were working. You dropped this.
Got kind of sidetracked.
I can see that. But, it's missing something.
What?
It's missing the most important part. There. Now, it's a masterpiece.
Every artist, regardless of talent, has one great masterpiece.
One work in which her mind stands far beyond the rest.
Whether the rest of the world agrees doesn't change a thing.
To the artist, it remains a masterpiece.